Everyone. I have to pull up a screen here. 12 people. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. It is my second live stream. I keep wanting to call it a podcast. I know it's not a podcast. I am just trying to load up the chat here. I came a little bit more prepared this time. I brought my laptop here just so I can see the chat and I don't have to read it on my phone, which I am recording from. Just going to see if I can pull up the chat. I can't see the live chat. Can you guys hear me okay? Let's see, is there any chat? Okay. Sounds good. I already knew or had a feeling my family's gonna be watching upstairs. That just makes it really awkward right now because everybody is home tonight. Last time I did a live stream, I was by myself. I didn't have any distractions or anything like that. So yeah, I'm just going to keep up on the chat on here. So tonight, I just wanted to do, I'm super distracted. Can you guys turn off the the cameras or your guys' phone upstairs? Okay. Yeah, okay, so tonight I just wanted to do some propagations and maybe some updates with some plants. Just let me know what you guys want to see, if you want to see any updates. Ignore them. Oh, he says, okay, bye. I was going to say, because I kind of knew they were going to be watching, so I was going to say, stomp twice if you're watching. So let's just listen for 2 stomps upstairs. Yeah, the pencil. Okay, so I'm going to try and keep up with the chat here as well. I have a bunch of plants that I want to propagate tonight in preparation for other videos. So, okay, I'm glad you guys can hear me. I'm using my mic. I used it last time, but I didn't have it set up properly, so the microphone didn't pick up properly. So, okay, now I think I'm going to start with... Okay, I'm going to start with this global green. This is upstairs. And the reason why I want to propagate this plant, I purchased this before it was available like through Costa Farms here in Canada. I wasn't able to find like those big luscious pots, so I did buy a few cuttings and I have grown it like on this trellis in my bedroom. And the cool thing about this one in particular is it has a little bit of almost yellow in the leaves. So the global green is typically like the darker margins or the outside of the leaf with the lighter in the middle. But this one has just little areas of kind of yellow variegation in here too. You can see it's almost like little thunderbolts or little streaks. So it's kind of a cool cutting. And it's growing up this trellis quite nice. I want to propagate it and eventually put it on a plank. Okay. It's weird because I can see myself on this screen as well, but I'm just trying to keep up with the chat. The pencil. Yeah, I always have the pencil. Okay, so I'm going to take this one off. Yeah, I think it's, Linda says the yellow variegation is cool. I think so too. I don't know why it's happening. I have it underneath a grow light upstairs. And it seems to be doing really well. So I'm actually going to cut this one back to maybe actually up here. So just a small little section like this, and eventually I will put it on a trellis. And the neat thing about this is you can see the variegation or the variegation lines on the stem. So you know each new leaf is going to have some sort of variegation. Okay, I'm going to cut this bottom leaf off, and I already have a little container of water that I'm just going to stick that in just like that. So I have a few tasks that I have written down that I want to stay on task with. Okay, whoops. Sorry, I'm just trying to bring up the chat so I can keep an eye on this a little bit closer this time. Watching from the hospital. Hey, Kimberly. Are you still with Jeff in the hospital? Do global green revert? Yes, they do. I'll show you. Here is a global green that I bought from a plant shop, and the new stems, or the new growth, maybe they have like very, very slight variegation on them, but you can hardly tell. So it's basically reverted to an all green leaf with this guy. So this is the mother plant. I basically cut it back completely. It was looking pretty rough when I first bought it, but it is getting some new growth, kind of all over. How many people do we got? I can't. Doesn't say. 48. Holy cow. Okay, well, thanks for joining. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. I'm just doing some plant chores. So yeah, well, what do I have next? I have a Ficus elastica. I do have a rather large Ficus elastica robusta. He's wearing his shirt. Nice. Oh, and I got my little coffee mug. So thanks to everyone that has bought stuff off of my merch site. I hope you guys like it. I have a hoodie, a t-shirt, and a mug, and this is probably my favorite thing. I have a little honey water tonight. Yeah, thanks for joining tonight. I keep scrolling down. Okay, so I'm gonna put this down, and I'm gonna get, I don't know if I can have it on camera or not, but my huge ficus. I don't know if it'll be in frame. So I did propagate this one. Okay, that's not gonna fit. Didn't think this through, but I did propagate it quite a while ago right here. I basically chopped the top off in hopes that it would branch out. I'm going to get distracted with... Oh, thanks, Kimberly. I appreciate that. Get back to the plants. Okay. So this is, yeah, I propagated this probably in the springtime. And I was hoping it would get at least 2 branches. It only got 1. And then I don't know if I can show it here because it's huge, but I did try notching just above this node right here, and it did not produce any branches. So yeah, this one, I'm not really liking how it is looking right now. See if I can get it in frame with just like 1 branch. And I was actually thinking about selling this one because I have the top cutting over here. Where is it? Here is the top cutting. And my goal was to just keep this one, and I would either chop this up and propagate the mother plant, or I would sell it, kind of thing. So I don't really need 2. I just want it to keep growing. Oh, it's hitting the roof. I can't even put it down. So my plan is now to keep this one because it's gotten a really nice thick woody stem, and I do want to propagate these smaller, more juvenile leaves. And the reason is I can't find this, or I've never seen this in any stores here in Saskatchewan or really anywhere. like in big box stores, or maybe like one specialty plant shop may have had it in once, but I've never seen any of these. And the kind of the story behind this is I was part of a Facebook group, kind of a plant Facebook group, and I messaged people, it's from all across Canada, and I asked if anyone has ever seen this lighter, larger green-leafed Ficus elastica, and someone from, I can't even remember where, but somewhere in Manitoba, like rural Manitoba, they messaged me, said they had a fairly large plant that they weren't like propagating or anything like that at the time, but they said that they would take a cutting for me. They paid for shipping, they gave me the cutting for free, and it basically started off as, I think, maybe like 2 or 3 leaves. Just notch all over and see what happens. I might try that again in the springtime, but I'm keeping this one downstairs now underneath a grow light, so it should be getting a lot of light, and I'm hoping that when I prune it tonight that it will branch out, as it's still receiving lots of light, whereas it was previously upstairs. Right now in Canada, it's yeah, the days are pretty short. It's probably not going to branch out if I tried it for upstairs. 61 people, holy smokes. Thanks everyone for joining tonight. D says I have a rubber plant that's 25 years old. Holy smokes. Is it huge? Like, how big is it? Have you had to propagate it or chop it down a bunch of times? I'm just imagining this like giant plant in your house. Hi from PH. Where's PH? Enrique. Which one is this? This is the Ficus Alaska Robusta, I think. I've done numerous searches online to try and find the actual name of this one, but that's the only thing that I've seen. Otherwise, I really don't know what the name is for this one. Do your plants slow down in winter? Right now, upstairs in my south-facing window, pretty much all my plants are still getting new growth. The only ones that are really slowing or kind of getting a little bit droopy are my alocasias. I have a sinuata, a dragon scale, silver dragon. Those are all starting to droop, so I'm thinking that the less amount of light is going to put it into dormancy. So I'll have to keep an eye on those. They're not showing any signs of like getting new leaves or anything like that. But those are the only ones that are, I don't want to say struggling, but most other ones, they're getting new growth. And I wish I could show it, and I'm sure you guys know, in the fall and wintertime, obviously the sun is lower in the sky. A lot of my houseplants in my south-facing window are getting like a lot of direct sunlight. So my plants are still growing, actually. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing that, but most of my plants upstairs are still doing really good. My Ficus elastica Taniki or Tenica, that's getting new leaves all over the place as well. Moonlight, or the Shiveriana. Please call me Kim. Kim, I actually just got one of those. The only, like I've been looking for like a couple of years, and the only place you could buy it or get it was from Australia, and I think it's slowly starting to reach the North American plant stores. Like my main plant store, it sounds bad, my main plant shop, but the place where I get most of my houseplants, they knew I wanted one, so they messaged me right away and I went and picked one up. So it's just a tiny little guy. I'll get it here in a second, but all your alocasias died back. Yeah, the ones downstairs here underneath the grow lights, they're all growing like getting new growth and stuff, but the ones upstairs, my Frydek and all the other ones I listed there, they're slowly getting droopy, so I think I'm gonna lose those ones there pretty quick. Dee says she's shared cuttings over the years. That's the nice thing about being part of a lot of like Facebook plant groups and stuff like that. I hate Facebook, but I used to, or yeah, I really enjoyed making trades or doing trades with people for plants. That way you don't have to spend a ton of money. Speaking of that, I have a plant, kind of a wish list plant that I did get today, which I will show you guys here in a second, but I'm gonna chop this up here. Okay. Now I think I'm gonna cut it right, I'm gonna keep this right in between my legs here. I'm going to cut this right at the spot where I made the notching, just above that node. I'm just going to cut it back because right here is where I made the cut. I'm going to cut it back one more node. Sounds like everybody's allocations are getting a little bit droopy, except for H. Wilson. They're doing great. Oh, and Marissa, all her allocations are putting out new leaves. Okay, now, okay, totally not prepared, but when I cut this, there's going to be like a sap that comes out of this. It's going to drip down everywhere. So I'm going to put this plant down, and then see, it's already like dripping. It's sticky stuff, so I'm going to set this down. Usually I have like a paper towel I can just like stick on it, but I'll have to clean it up a little bit later. I saw a post on a Facebook post, whatever, of someone trying to, or they did put a ficus fiddly fig leaf in a cup of water, and the leaf itself grew roots, and they said they didn't know what to do with it once it grew roots. But unfortunately, you cannot grow an entirely new plant just from a leaf and the petiole. You need a portion of the stem, unfortunately. It will grow roots. Look at the size of this leaf. These things are gorgeous. I love this one. This is probably my favorite ficus, and it's dripping everywhere. But yeah, you do need a portion of the stem and the leaf in order to grow an entirely new plant. So my plan is, I don't need any more of these plants. I'm going to propagate it and eventually pot it up in some soil so that I can trade them, give them away, whatever. So yeah, if I wanted to, I could just stick this entire stem just in a container of water, but I am going to cut it up. Did I have a light turn off? I have all my things on timers. Everything turns off at 10 o'clock, so if everything goes dark, you know that we've reached 10 o'clock. I'll probably only do this live for probably an hour or so. Okay, so here's the top cutting. I can probably get 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 separate cuttings off of it. And I'm just going to stick these in I got some containers of water. I'm just going to put all these leaves in there. Kim, thick. The leaves will root, but you don't get a stem. Yeah, there's many plants that you need a portion of the stem in order to get like an entirely new plant off of it. And then I'm going to cut so here's the top cutting. I'm going to cut this lower leaf off and stick that in the container of water here as well. So this is where a new leaf is going to pop out from. That's the top cutting. How many people we got? Still 62. Awesome. Thanks so much for joining tonight. I really appreciate it. You are always so brave. It was tough, like propagating. I basically learned like my first propagations were from my large J plant here a few years ago. This is 15, maybe 16 years old now. A few years ago, it was just kind of flopped over, and I just did some reading on how to propagate or to prune these plants. And trust me, I was terrified. I thought I was going to kill it. Same with all my other plants. You learn to how to propagate each of them, and you understand that they respond in a certain way, and most plants like to be propagated. Hello from Washington State. Good evening. Okay, so I'm kind of ripping through these propagations. Is there anything that you guys want to see? I'm going to show you 2 things here in a second. Ruthless. I know. I'm brutal with hacking up all my plants. Now, yeah, everything's just super sticky here. Okay. So yeah, I'm not going to keep these leaves, but like they're huge. They're awesome. I love them. I'm going to throw them away. I'll put them over here for now. Okay, so I'm going to show you something exciting that I bought tonight. It was a wish list plant, and yeah, I've been wanting it for a while. So when you do the root cutting, cringe like a slasher movie. I might be doing another root prune tonight. I will show you guys here in a second. Okay, here is my new plant that I got tonight. It is the Thai Constellation Monstera. Someone, like a local Facebook grower, I guess. She has a ton of plants on her Facebook page. And I've been eyeing this one up for a little while, and I pulled the trigger tonight. So look at these leaves. It's something that I've wanted for a long time. I'm not really buying any plants right now, even though I just bought a couple plants a few days ago. But this is one that I had to have. I want those large Thai Constellation variegated leaves. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So this is the first thing that I wanted to show you guys. Joining late, but happy to be here. Hello, Beth. Your lipstick plant behind is gorgeous. I know, it is flowering. See if I can get it down. It's kind of sun-stressed as well. It has like these newer leaves. They come, oh, this thing's huge. And I know, oh, I'm gonna get stuff in my, I think I got dirt in my water. My little coffee cup. Nothing, okay, I thought it. Okay, so yeah, here's the flowers. This is probably about, I would say like the 4th or 5th time this thing has flowered for me. Just peeking in. But it's gorgeous. Look at the new leaves when they come in. They almost come in like a bronze or a copper. Oh yes, some crispy leaves at the, oh look at these flowers. Some crispy leaves at the back. They're so cool. They're such weird looking flowers. I'm trying to see if there's, okay, I dumped over the Thai. When they are in this state, the little red portion of the flower pops out and it literally looks like a little tube of lipstick. It's pretty cool. I don't think there's any on here right now that are in that. Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, okay, without dumping anything over. It's popping through like a little tube of lipstick. They're such cool plants. Okay, without destroying the Thai Constellation on the first day. Oh, I lost a flower. What a disaster. I don't take this down very often just because it is pretty large. It has fallen off the shelf there once before. Kim. I am just trying to keep up with the chat here. I don't want to miss anyone's messages here. Oops. Okay. So yeah, I busted off a flower. This little guy. I'm totally getting behind in the chat. That's kind of the tongue twister stuff that I deal with all the time when I film my videos. Yeah, it's frustrating sometimes. A curly lipstick plant, but haven't gotten it to bloom. They need a lot of light, so give them like a ton of light and you shouldn't have any issues with getting them to get flowers. It's all light. Just put it in high light and you should get some flowers. Kim, you are the best. Thank you. Doing great. Okay. All right, now I have one other thing to show you guys. I wasn't really going to mention it until I got a little bit closer, but words are hard, I know. Yeah, okay. Sometimes just being an adult is hard. Okay, stand by. Okay, I have this. This is a Soltec aspect grow light. And I've been holding on to this for probably about a month now. I still don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but this was a plan for when I reached 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. I am going to be doing a giveaway, and this is part of the giveaway. So I've been holding on to this. It's quite literally under the Christmas tree right now, but I just had to show all you guys. 73 people, holy, thank you. So yeah, this is part of a giveaway. I don't know what else I'm going to do yet, but just because when you do a giveaway, I was thinking of doing a plant, but the only people I could ship it to was viewers and subscribers in Canada. So I kind of thought of something that I could do as a giveaway for like Canada, US, and I'm assuming I could probably ship this worldwide. So I think this would be a great giveaway prize for someone that watches my channel from kind of all over. So yeah, just gotta wait for a few more thousand subscribers. So tell your friends. Yeah, I'm at 47,300 subscribers right now. So this is sitting underneath the Christmas tree. I'm hoping to give it away. I need to get rid of it. So I even thought about doing like a Christmas giveaway, but I'm gonna keep it for the 50,000. It's coming hopefully soon. Hello from Mexico, love your videos. Thank you, appreciate it. So yeah, I hope you guys would like a Soltech aspect grow light. I put up another one downstairs here too. I don't know if you've seen my recent video on like all my planks and stuff like that, but yeah, this one's been sitting here waiting for you guys. Okay, I can't remember who made mention to it, but I do want to propagate some pothos plants. Here, I'm getting off topic. Gotta stay on task. Hey Ashley, welcome. So yeah, I have, like I said, a few things written down, just kind of motoring through it here. I've wanted to, and I haven't done it for quite some time, I want to get back into some plant experiments. So I used to do a lot of like comparison, like propagations in water, some with fertilizer, and just kind of other fun little experiments. And I haven't done any for a while. So that's kind of the reason why I wanted to make this video or this live tonight, is just kind of prep all of those propagations for maybe something I could film tomorrow, and then maybe like in a few months I'll provide some updates. So there's a couple different types of experiments that I want, and I'm going to be using a Marble Queen pothos that used to be right behind me here. It's kind of gotten a little bit, well, the vines have gotten long, but it's gotten a little bit thin on top, so I just wanted to hack it up, and I do have my utility knife downstairs here to do a bit of a root prune as well, just to make a few of you cringe. I have done some root prunes with pothos plants before. I've hacked them up like basically to the soil line. I've cut half the roots off and they've grown back. Yeah, I'll show you one that I did a root prune on a long time ago. This is my golden pothos. I basically cut it back to the soil line. I cut off about half of the root system just because it was getting a little bit thin and a little bit bare on top. This one was actually right behind me here, and it was cascading down, and it just kind of lost all its leaves on top. Well, I just lost another leaf. And so I, just as a kind of an experiment, a little trial, I just cut it up. It was brutal. I cut off half the roots. I cut the entire plant down. I propagated all these cuttings into an entirely new pot, and it's come back like so full, so thick. So for those that are scared of pruning, not only the leaves and the stems, but you're like the root prune, this is proof right here. And I know this is pothos, like they're super hardy. You can't kill these things, but I was pleasantly surprised when it's come back so full. So if you have like a thinning pothos, like a cake, yeah, you slice it off and it literally looks like a little slab of cake. So yeah, if you have a struggling pothos, I'll show you with the marble queen here in a second. I'm going to cut it up. I'm going to hack it up. And yeah, you think it's going to die, but it won't. It'll be fine. Okay, so I'll show you the marble queen, but I'm also going to... what did I do with it? Oh, it's right here. These are all the cuttings. I just recently moved some plants around. So this right here are all the cuttings from that pothos that I just showed you guys. So this is a nice full pot, and I made this for free. Propagate in the fall. Pardon me. I honestly propagate all year round. The cuttings themselves, they will root fine, but if you have it like in natural sunlight, then the like if you're wanting to say prune like a jade plant for branching, I would only prune in the spring and summer or when it's actively growing. But you can propagate the cuttings any time of year. You can put it in water, put it in soil. But if you're wanting it to branch out, or if you want the plant, whatever it is, to branch out, just make sure that you do it when it's actively growing. Right now, all my plants upstairs are still, for the most part, growing. So yeah, even right now, I would propagate the majority or most of my houseplants that are upstairs. All of them that are downstairs here are getting natural sunlight, or artificial light, as there's no natural sunlight down here. So they're all growing. It's like summer down here. I have my humidifiers. It's 21 degrees, 52% humidity downstairs. It's summertime downstairs. Oops. So yeah, make plants for free. Oh, I gotta show you guys another thing here too. I'm gonna show you my Queen of the Night cactus here. Okay, now what am I doing? Where's my plant? I'm trying to keep everything organized, but I have plants kind of all over the place. Okay, so now I'm gonna make sure there's no floaties in my drink here. D says plants are more resilient than we think. Absolutely. I hack up all my plants. Now, where's my tie? Okay, I just don't want to dump it over. Okay, I'm sure it's safe. But okay, anyways, I literally forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, like some of my more expensive plants, I'm a little bit probably nervous to cut those up, but with pothos and jade plants, like I'm very familiar with these types of plants, even the aglaonemas, I cut them back to the soil line. I have no problems with those. I know how they're going to respond and how they're going to grow. Black dragon. Black dragon on the table. Which one? I have the silver. This guy right here. Is that what you mean? I have a black velvet. This one. This plant's really ticking me off right now. And it's dripping water. This one, my cupria, it's losing this leaf, but it's getting a new one. See? Surrounded by plants. Where's my plants? Yeah. I can't wait for this new leaf to come out, because look how large this one is. I'm losing all my plants. I don't even know, like, I seriously don't know where my tie went. Did I put it down? Oh, there it is, yeah. Got worried. Okay, so Flint, Michigan. Oh, look at this root. It's coming out the bottom. Super root bound. So this is definitely getting a root prune. I'm going to chop this up. Missing tie. I found it. It's good. Nobody panic. We're okay. A golden jade? What is that? Such beautiful plants. Thank you, appreciate it. Do the Soltec lights put out heat? Minimal. It's not going to like burn your hand or anything like that. I can hold the light. It's not gonna harm you. I absolutely love, well, you can't see it, but my new Aspect track system up here. It's like 2 lights are pointed to my table and then 2 are behind the shelf. I put the mother grow light here for all my plants that are growing on the floor here, and then I have 2 Soltec lights over here for my plants on planks. That I might be switching up some plants here shortly. There's a few that are not doing the greatest. I'll show you my absolute favorite one if you guys aren't familiar with it. Where's everyone from? Orange. Is that California? You're from California? That was actually a thing or something I was going to mention a few minutes ago. I did make some Instagram posts, and I think there's even a couple on my community tab on YouTube here. I absolutely love knowing where everyone's from. It's quite literally around the world. It's actually like, yeah, it's speechless. It leaves me speechless where everybody's from. Florida, BC, Kansas. Oh, it's blowing up here. Massachusetts, Scotland, wow. Columbus, Ohio, Vancouver Island, Kansas. I absolutely love reading where everybody's from. Tonight, coming to you live from Saskatchewan, Canada. Middle of the prairies, literally nothing around us. We're like 7 hours away from, no, maybe 9 hours away from the Rocky Mountains, just outside Calgary. Winnipeg is, I think, about, whoops, I'm losing the chat. It's about 5 hours from us, Manitoba. I'm losing my chat here. Sorry, I'm squinting. San Diego, Brookfield, Ohio. Lots of US. If I want to accidentally pack the tie, I think I'll keep it. I haven't even had it for like 4 hours. I think I got it just this afternoon, or like around 4 or 5 o'clock. You and Ashley. Ashley from, I'm assuming you're talking about Ashley from Gardening in Canada. Love her channel. You're killing it. You're killing it on your channel. Okay, back to the plant. I actually got the idea for another live stream from watching Tech Plants live stream. His first live stream a couple nights ago. It was pretty fun to watch. He was on it for like 3 hours. My last live stream, I keep wanting to say podcast, live stream was an hour. So I'm going to try and keep it around that hour time frame as well. Okay, so this is a propagated Marble Queen pothos from an upstairs plant. You can see it's getting a little bit thinner on top. The vines, they're pretty long. It was on my shelf here. And obviously it's root bound, like it's solid roots. I can't wait to take this out of the pot and then just literally hack it up. So like with my other plants, I'm only going to be keeping a couple nodes in the pot. And the reason for that is whenever you make a cutting or a prune, it does basically tell the plant to push out to more growth lower in the stem. And I have had vining plants like this branch out in multiple areas, and it'll even start new growth from lower in the soil. So it will activate more nodes. Is that 80? 80 people. Wow. Okay, so yeah, it will activate more nodes lower in the stem. It will branch out, and probably in a few months, it'll be a nice full pot of Marble Queen pothos again. And you get obviously tons of free cuttings. That's the nice thing about pruning and propagating, is you get basically a whole new plant. It's not going to look good. I'm going to be honest. It's not going to look good right now, but cake time. Yeah, it's coming. So yeah, it's not going to look good at all. So that's basically what we're left with. I'm going to cut this one too, right here. Okay, that's what we have. It doesn't look good. It looks so bare, looks, yeah, pathetic. I'm going to set this aside for a second. Greenville, South Carolina. Hello, everyone. With living moss. Can you top dress with, oh no, I just put a hole in my floor. I dropped my pruning shears. I've done this a number of times, and the pointy part just stuck right in the floor. There was one time I had it upstairs in the kitchen, and it dropped like this, and then it stuck in the floor. Oh yeah, it bent my pruning shears. Right there. It's bent. But yeah, it stuck right in the floor like this, and I had to pull it out of the hardwood. Okay. If you've never propagated pothos before, there's basically two ways you can do it. You can do it by stem cutting or by single leaf cutting. The plant that I showed you up here on the shelf earlier, that's all single leaf cuttings. And if you've never done it before, you just cut in between two nodes so that you get a section of leaf, petiole, stem, and then you have your aerial roots, pardon me. And so I'll set this aside, or I'll just put it in a container of water. So you just put it in a container of water like that, and you just cut them all up. And then you just stick them in the container. I'm just going to keep them in water for tonight, and then I will be doing some filming, or starting to film some of these experiment videos. And the two that I wanted to do was I wanted to compare the rate of root growth and development with one on a heat pad, and then the other one kind of right beside it, but just on the floor, so obviously no heat. I just want to see if there's any difference in the growth pattern between the two. That's one. And then the other one is, it's actually a cold coffee experiment. I'll explain here in a second. Niagara, Ontario. Propagated silver sword in water. I have a silver sword. I've never propagated it yet, but absolutely, philodendrons do really good in water. I primarily use perlite. I would probably stick it in a perlite prop box, depending on the size of the cutting. I have really good success with perlite prop boxes. And the nice thing about perlite compared to water is there isn't really a tough transition period if you were to put it back in soil. Water roots can be a little bit difficult or a little bit tricky if you, when you put it in soil. You have to basically keep the soil pretty much not soaking wet, but you can't let it dry out, otherwise those water roots are going to dry out really fast, and that plant will go into decline pretty fast. This leaf's a little mangled. I'm not going to keep that one. Propagated silver sword many times in water. Awesome. Okay, well, it works. There's only one plant that I've tried to root in a prop box, and I've tried to root it in water. What else? I did put a cutting in soil, I think, too. It's the philodendron golden goddess, the one from Costa Farms. I just tried to propagate it for myself. It rots every time. That's the only plant that has never rooted for me in perlite. Okay, I'm quickly running out of room here. I'm just going to keep stuffing all these in. Is your silver sword, Karen, is it just getting too large, or are you just wanting to propagate it for like another plant? Okay, I'm gonna have like a ton of cuttings. I didn't realize these stems were so long. I'll probably have way more than what I need for experiments. Not too impressed with my silver sword. right now. It's not it's not looking the greatest. It is on a plank, and I think that might be one that I might try and propagate as well. Catherine, how did you get yours to root? You've gotten a few starters. Did you use like sphagnum moss, or was it in water? Want to make it fuller. Then chop it up. Water. Okay, sweet, interesting. Mine rotted really fast. Did you use distilled water or like filtered water or anything like that? Okay, so I'm gonna maybe put a few more cuttings in there, but a nice full pot. I'm just gonna work through this. I don't wanna be stuck on this cutting up just a million single cuttings. I wanna chop up or hack up some roots here. Okay, I'm just gonna do a couple more and then I'll come back to these, because what else do I have to do? I'll just show you guys some updates and stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna set these guys aside, make some room, and I'm going to get a root cake. It's an absolute disaster down here right now. Okay. Now, where's my knife? Put in a fresh blade. Ready for cutting. Okay, I gotta get rid of some of these. I do have a lipstick plant that I want to propagate as well. A cake? That's awesome. It's actually quite satisfying hacking up or cutting up a big root ball. This is going to be pretty thick. Okay, I should have got my knife. I have all my little utensils and stuff down here. Looking for my spoon or my knife. There. Okay. Might have to, oh, this is crunchy. But trust me, if you've never done a root prune, oh, this is gonna be brutal. It'll be healthy for this plant, because right now, like, I was losing a lot of leaves. You can see I basically lost like all these leaves. Once a plant gets super root bound, then it can't retain or hold on to moisture, or it can't bring up water fast enough. It starts dropping leaves. Oh, interesting. Will a heat mat work? I should try a heat mat with the Golden Goddess. Good thinking there. Okay, I can't even get this out. I might even have to cut the bottom. Okay, since I am cutting up the roots, I'm just gonna pull off all the ones that are tangled up on the bottom here. It's probably gonna be these people just cringing right now, but cracking all these roots. Okay. Oh, yep. Yep. Look at that. That's insane. It's a solid root mass. Look at this. Definitely needed a repot probably like a few months ago. I knew it was root bound. Yeah. It's solid. Like, there's probably not much dirt left in it. Okay, Kim, this one's for you, and Jeff, if you're watching, it's cake time. This little setup, I have my laptop here tonight. This little setup is working much better than last time. I was trying to read all the comments off the screen. I'm just filming with my cell phone and I have my mic, my microphone here. So I tried to play around with some other ways to make it flow a little bit better so I can keep an eye on the chat, just because last time the chat was just disappearing and I wasn't able to see what you guys were saying. Tease the roots gently. Just rip them. Can you root prune a jade plant? Yes, I've never done it, but jade plants, one of the reasons why people use them for bonsai is because they can grow quite large with a very small root system. So they do a lot of root pruning. If they outgrow like one of those kind of rectangle bonsai pots, you will see them. You should actually watch videos on bonsai plants themselves. They're quite fascinating. But they will take these jade plants out and they'll use one of those root rakes, and they will just scrape off all the dirt. And then they take their little scissors and they will snip off. See, they will snip off all the roots until it's like a small little base, and then they will pot it back up in those smaller pots. So jades, they like to have a smaller pot, and I've never done a root prune on them. And quite honestly, they have a very like shallow root system, so I've never had to. They've never gotten to something like this. I've never had a root bound. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I might have one upstairs that needs to be repotted, but they will definitely not be like this. You might see some roots on the side, but I've never had a jade plant with the roots encircling. Caught a live stream. Welcome. Love your channel. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, let's hack this up. So I just got a utility knife, and it's a fresh blade. Otherwise, you should probably clean it. Now, when doing a root prune or even pruning a plant, they say, I think you should only remove like 20% of the leaves. Clearly, I did much more than that. I probably removed like 80% of the leaves. Not worried about it at all. It's going to produce it'll get a new stem from where I made the cut, like closest like to the node, and it'll even branch out in some other areas. All right, got some people going to bed. Good night. It is almost 9 o'clock here. Okay, I think I've been going for an hour already. Okay. I know everyone's waiting. I've been holding off. I've been stalling, been keeping you guys in suspense. Okay, so yeah, you should probably only remove like 20% of the leaves. And then for root pruning, I probably wouldn't do it for like all types of plants, but pothos, yeah, just some of the more easier ones I feel comfortable doing this. But you should only remove 1/3 of the root system. I'm gonna cut half of it off. I'm gonna do quite a drastic cut, and I got some larger roots here too, so snip these off. Okay, pull it back here so you guys can see. It's like literally cutting a piece of cake. Okay, that's maybe a little bit more than half, but that's okay because I'm going to put some fresh soil in the bottom. Easy. It's so funny, like I don't know, even when I'm not filming, I laugh at this little root patty, this root cake. There you go, Kim. There's your cake. And here's what I'm left with. This puny little thing. Surgeon. No. Just literally hack it up. So I'm going to throw this in the garbage. It's kind of neat too because you can see a lot of the like larger roots in the soil. I just find this so fascinating. I don't think I propagated these, or these cuttings weren't that old. Okay, I'm just making a big garbage pile right now. Just got my leaves and my stems. Big trash pile there. 3 a.m. in the UK, wow. Some cake, then bed. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in, I appreciate it. Probably just burped right in the mic, sorry guys. Okay, so I'm gonna pot this back in the original pot. Why the broken heart? Sheffield plant guy shaves the sides too? Interesting. I follow his channel, but I don't remember seeing him shave the sides. But okay, I'm just gonna get some soil. For this pothos, it's not getting anything special. Well, it's getting ProMix premium potting mix, but it's not getting the tropical mix. That stuff's a little bit more expensive. It's just getting a regular potting soil. And then I'm going to fill up the bottom, and then I'll just literally stick this little patty right on top. I might actually break some of these roots up. Where's my pencil? I think this was the problem last time with my live stream, is I was just so like unprepared. So I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of a root rake, just breaking up the sides. Hello from Ottawa, or hi from Ottawa. Good evening. Hello from Saskatchewan. The ICU is cheering for you. Wow. I appreciate that. Thank you. How are you guys doing, by the way? Just so you guys all know, apparently I have a big fan club in, I know she mentioned it in the chat here, but in New York. So huge fan base in New York State. So thank you. I appreciate. I do have a Mandula pothos. It's upstairs. Again, I got those cuttings from the person that I got the Thai constellation from, just smaller plants, and I propagated them in my perlite prop box. And I kind of made a nice fuller pot. Is there anything you guys want to see for like updates of plants? After I'm done all my propagation stuff, then I'll kind of run through some updates of plants that you guys, Central New York. I'll show you some updates on some plants. I just did a Homolamina Selby care and propagation video, so I'll show you that one here too. That one is pretty cool. I did make an entirely new plant from Division, Germany, 4 a.m. Well, hello, Linda. Thanks for joining in. Hopefully you don't have to work tomorrow morning. Perlite prop boxes are awesome. I have mine downstairs here. I'm going to show you guys. I don't think I've shown them recently, what's in my prop boxes. Just getting a little scoop for the soil. Hello, Atlanta. Even though my computer is like right here, I'm constantly squinting. Should probably wear glasses. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, holy cow, 90 people. If you're just tuning in, I just made a little root cake, and now I am just adding some soil into the bottom of the pot here. You know what? I wouldn't make a video just of me like tearing roots apart. It's not a how-to video. I'm just showing you how like tough you can be with plants, and they'll respond. Like, I'll show you guys an update here in a couple months, and it'll be fine. I got no concerns about this at all. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit more soil in. Kirby, hello. AW, I see you in the comments a lot. Thank you for watching and supporting my channel. Maryland, nice. I'm gonna add maybe like a little bit of soil on top, just like, because you can see there's some exposed roots on top. So I'm just gonna top dress or fill in a little bit on top. I'm just going to use the soil that it came with. I said nothing. Well, I'm just cleaning out the roots here. Otherwise, it's just getting the same soil. Jamaica. Who said that? Jamaican watching from Japan. Who said that? Oh. Oh, wow, that's awesome. What time is it there? In Japan. See, like, that's awesome. That's what I love about these types of, got hair in my mouth, platforms, is people are literally watching from around the world, which is crazy because I'm just a regular dude in the middle of the Canadian prairies who likes plants as a hobby. That's awesome. Okay, this leaf is dying. Which one is this? See, this is how it starts. When you get a plant, or this is one of the things that I look for, is when a plant starts to get some yellowing leaves, I will first look for pests. It's really difficult to look through all those stems and all those leaves for any pests. And then the second thing I do is give it a little bit of a squeeze and I check the bottom. I knew this was root bound for a long time. I just didn't feel like cutting it up, and it actually worked out perfect because I got to cut it up for you guys tonight just to show you how, like I said, rough you can be with some plants and they will respond just fine. Oh, that's another, you have 3 lipstick plants and they have not bloomed. I mentioned that it was a big thing. I took this down here probably about half an hour ago. Give it more light. They like tons of light. This thing has probably bloomed, I think I said like maybe 3, 4, 5 times already. And yeah, it's awesome. If you have yours in kind of that medium light, put it in something a little bit brighter and it should get some blooms. This one is underneath some grow lights. You can even add a grow light in that area. And I just absolutely love these blooms when they come in. The other plant, or I think one of the last plants that I had to prune and propagate tonight, is the black pagoda lipstick plant. I bought it probably a few years ago, and when, like the pot that I bought, it was pretty rough. So I want to try and start the pot over. Holy smokes, I'm almost at 100 people. That's crazy. So yeah, I'm going to try and take some, or I will take some cuttings off that, and I'll try and start an entirely new pot of the black pagoda lipstick plant. That one is flowered for me as well. There might actually be a flower on that one still, so I'll grab that. This cutting, or this plant, I'm going to put in the windowsill of my basement. It's going to get some, I think, morning light, getting dirt everywhere. It's going to get some morning light. I have a few plants up there, including the black pagoda, and they seem to like that spot. So, sorry, I've been kind of ignoring this chat for a little bit. Press that like button. Thank you. Tell your friends. We need to get to 50,000 subscribers, because if you guys didn't see, I have a Soltech Aspect grow light to give away. I just have to get to 50,000 subscribers, and then I'll make an announcement on YouTube here. My Cupria, yeah, this thing's awesome. I don't know if you guys have this plant. Mine kind of start to fade a little bit. I don't know why, but when they come out new, they're like super shiny, and then they kind of lose their fade, and I don't know what I should use for maybe like a leaf clean, or if like, I don't know if I should use like tire shine, get all shined up. But it is getting a new leaf, so I'm excited about that one. Yeah, Patty, try more light, and it shouldn't take long for your lipstick plant to get some flowers. Same with Hoyas. I read that sometimes it can take like a few years, like 3, 4, 5, 6 years for a Hoya to bloom. Put them in higher light, stress them out. Put them in a little bit higher light, and maybe don't water as often. So if you say, if it has like a regular watering routine of like 2 weeks, maybe cut back on watering to like 2.5 weeks, so the leaves might get a little bit thin, a little bit wrinkly. Stress it out because it thinks it's dying, so it's going to try and produce flowers to reproduce, and then you trick it and then you give it water. So you trick it into flowering. So most of my Hoyas upstairs have flowered at some point, and the one that smells the absolute like strongest and the sweetest is the Australis Lisa. The scent only comes out at night, which is weird. During the day, it's fine, but at nighttime, you could smell it like throughout the house. Maybe not that much, but it's very, very strong and pleasant. It's not like a few of them where it might smell like a sock or dirty sock or something. Some don't smell as nice. Goldfish plants. I don't have any. How do you tell the difference between a silver splash and the exotica? I've never seen a silver splash in person. I know they're around, but I don't have one. But I know they will have a smaller leaf. I'm pretty sure they have a smaller leaf, whereas the exotica, they have quite large leaves. Those, like all those different varieties of Scindapsus, they're pretty difficult to tell apart, but I know the exotica, pardon me, I'm burping again. I know the exotica has a bit of a larger leaf. You guys are probably just laughing, thinking this is sitting here burping, and yeah. Holiday cactus, I don't. Oh, speaking of bloom, I wanted to show you guys. I'm super excited about this plant. This is my Queen of the Night jungle cactus. This was given to me, okay, come on down, as a bunch of cuttings from my aunt who lived in Calgary, who now does not live in Calgary, but they moved to BC, so now we no longer have a place to stay when we want to go to IKEA. Everyone in Saskatchewan has or knows somebody in Alberta, and we always stay with them, and then we of course make a one-day trip to IKEA, and we load up our vehicles and then drive back to Saskatchewan because we don't have an IKEA here. So if there's any Saskatchewan people in the chat here, yeah, please confirm that. Look at this right here. These little nubs, I do believe, are flowers starting. And this Queen of the Night jungle cactus, if you've never seen the flowers, you need to Google it like immediately. The flowers on these, they're large. They bloom at nighttime, and yeah, I think they bloom at nighttime. And they get these absolutely gorgeous white leaves. See? ZZZZZZWE can confirm. Thank you. We all like to go to Calgary to go to IKEA. 4 years old, Queen of the Night cactus. I've had this one for maybe a year, and it's like, it looks like a mess right now, but I'm pretty sure this is about to flower from this one stem. I can't wait. I just noticed this a couple of days ago when watering this plant. So these are right here, all the original leaves. And then from those leaves, they sprout. Where's a good spot? Like right here, they sprout off the side. They just get kind of little side shoots. It's pretty cool. What type of light? Is it Tanya? What type of light do you have yours in? Because I have mine underneath my grow lights here, and it seems to like it. And I actually let it get pretty dry, which is, again, why I think it is flowering so early or so soon for me. So I kind of stress my plants out. I'm a chronic underwaterer, so it's probably why it's getting the flowers. It's panicking, and I'm tricking it into thinking it's dying. What is your favorite Hoya and why? Probably, I don't have it downstairs anymore, but I was going to make a video on my Hoya Potsy. The reason why I like that one in particular is it has, I have some in my prop box I'll show you, but it has fairly large leaves, and when they get a lot of sun, they sun stress and they get absolutely gorgeous. It's like kind of a deep red, purple, very beautiful leaves. Keep it outside, interesting. And you let it get dry. Huh, interesting, okay. I'm surprised it hasn't bloomed or flowered for you since it's gone from that kind of nice summer heat to, do you bring it back inside, like in the winter? Do you have winter? I don't even know. We have snow right now. So probably most of like my US viewers, they probably live in much warmer places than I do. Any recommendations for taking care of alocasia going after? Is it struggling right now? I was just explaining a little while ago, alocasias are the only plants that are kind of, I wouldn't even call it struggling for me right now. Upstairs, the days are shorter and all my alocasias are starting to get a little bit droopy, so they're just probably going dormant. I'm gonna cut back maybe a few of the leaves here in the next week or so. All my alocasias downstairs getting 14 hours of light from grow lights. They're doing wonderful. They're all getting new growth. See if I can grab a couple. Here's my, I think I showed this in the last live stream as well. This is my Alocasia gaggiana. This is actually a tissue culture plant from a grower in Edmonton. I had them ship it out. I am losing this leaf, but it is getting another new leaf. Yeah, this one gets quite large, and I absolutely love the yellow variegation. So this one's doing pretty good right now, and it definitely needs some water. So I let them get maybe 50% dry, and then I will give it some water. Here is one that I recently picked up. This is the Alocasia. I think it's called Lukiwan. It's Lukiwan, I believe. This one's getting a new leaf as well. I think I picked this one up for like 15 bucks. Gorgeous. So yeah, there's a few that are doing really good downstairs. What else do I have? Here is a Regal Shield. I can't remember if I took this as a corm or if it was a little plant division, like a little side propagation. Yeah, 15 bucks. I can't believe I got it for such a good price. I fell in love with one of my Hoyas. Heart, leaf splash. I can't remember. I know which one you're talking about, but I can't remember what it's called right now. South Dakota. We probably, well, yeah, probably get similar weather. We do have, no, it's Montana, sorry. She lives in Montana, but we do have a little bit of snow right now. Actually, we have quite a bit of snow. We had a couple big like blizzards at the beginning of November, but it's been really nice. It's been above freezing for the past week. Yesterday was almost like 10 degrees, so we did lose a lot of snow. I was able to clean off the rest of my driveway. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep up with the chat here as well. 14 hours for my grow lights. Yeah. I love all these grow lights. The Soltec and the Mother grow lights, they're working wonderfully. Yeah, all the plants are doing really good. Okay, so yeah, I'm losing track. These are, yeah, some of the alocasias that, this is a colocasia. I can't remember which one this is. I had a bunch outside throughout the summer. I let them die back. I cut them down. I took out the bulbs from the soil, and they're just stored in my laundry room right now. So I have a few just sitting there until I can pot them up again in the summer. But I took a little like side division or yeah, a little side cutting, I guess. And I potted a few of them up. And this is one of them. I can't remember what this colocasia is. My one that's really struggling for me, and it doesn't do good indoors, is the Colocasia mojito. It's still got one leaf. This one, not so good. Any mildew problems in my basement? No. I use a hygrometer. Right now, it's 53%. I try and keep my humidity around that 50 to 55% downstairs. I don't let it get any higher. And we actually have, I can't remember the actual name of it, but it's an air exchange system in our house. So it constantly replenishes our house, or the air in our house, with fresh air from outside. So whenever I start to see any like condensation or any little buildup of condensation, I will run that air exchange system on high, and it'll pull out all the moisture. Sometimes in the winter, we'll even crack a door and let that humidity out. But no, I'm very particular about the humidity levels. I don't want like 70% humidity downstairs in my house, because then, yeah, you're definitely gonna be dealing with that mildew and mold and all that kind of stuff. So I pay attention to, I have a few hygrometers throughout the house. I do have a piano downstairs here, which again, you don't want it to get anywhere, like you don't want it to get too high, otherwise you start dealing with warping issues with that. So yeah, I don't think I have mildew issues. This is we built this house, I think we've been in it now for about 13 years. Thank you, climate change. For what? Planty plants. The planty pants. Hello. I'm happy to see you in the chat tonight. Your mojito and Hawaiian purple. Super unhappy. My Hawaiian purple, the frost got it. I completely forgot about it. It was in a little pot. I was meaning to dig it up before the first frost hit, and I forgot about it. So that one, it's gone. The mojito, I did bring it inside because I kind of got scared, as a few of my alocasias outside, they had thrips and they had other bugs on it. So I didn't want to bring those plants in, but I kind of snuck this one in, and then I brought it into my little quarantine bathroom. I have a grow light in my bathroom, and I probably have 6 plants in there. It's that bathroom is used by only me and my son, so he puts up with the plants, I guess. I should show you guys what I have quarantining right now. I love alocasias. The only thing about them that's bad, I guess, is they do go dormant, and a lot of times they only get like 2 or 3 leaves. So I understand why people don't like them, and I understand why people throw them out, because they think they like they're dying. But I have to make more videos on them, because yeah, you think they're dead, but in fact they've gone dormant. So if the leaves like die off like this, don't panic. Just let them die off, or you can change the requirements. You can give them more light, or you can give them some more water. It might be a light issue, it might be a watering issue that sends them into dormancy, or it might even be a temperature issue. So just try and troubleshoot it, give it time. If it completely dies back, pull it out of the pot, check the roots, and if the bulb is still firm, and not rotting, then it's still good. Put it back in the soil, leave the root system, put it in higher light, and it'll grow back. One plant that is really ticking me off is that I think it's the Alocasia High-Low Beauty. It was kind of really popular in the springtime or earlier in the year, and it's died back like 3 or 4 times. It'll get a leaf and then it dies, and then it'll get a leaf. I had it upstairs, but I brought it downstairs here and it's literally doing nothing. Oh, it's gonna get a leaf. Let's see. Okay, so it likes the grow light. This one is really ticking me off because I can't keep it alive. Maybe it's meant for the outdoors, but I think they like the heat too. A lot of light, despite how thin these leaves are. I've read that they do like a lot of light. Your Bambino, fiddle leaf fig Bambino, you thought it was dead, didn't give up on it. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I know like fiddle leaf figs are notorious for dropping leaves, and if you just like cut it back, it'll start pushing out new branches and new leaves and all that kind of stuff. So it's quite remarkable how plants will respond if you just give them a prune. So yeah, back to what I was talking about. I like this one because the leaves are cool, but if you've never looked at the stem, it's awesome. It's a nice purple color. So okay, I'm gonna put these back. A pink dragon. Oh, an Alocasia. Oh, Alocasia Bambino. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna get my lipstick plant now. I'm gonna cut that up. So many things in the way. Oh, stem just fell off. Okay, here is the Black Pagoda lipstick plant. See, it's not like on camera, it might be okay, like it might not look terrible, but in person, I'm gonna bring it a little bit closer without dumping stuff over. Like a lot of the stems, they're just looking hacked up, some are dying. It's starting to flower right there. Look at these leaves, like they're absolutely gorgeous. Like that's why I'm not giving up on this plant, because the pattern on it is gorgeous and it's going to flower. Let's see if there is a flower on it. I don't see any. Yeah, there's a bunch of areas. It's got like dead stems, browning up, where is it? Over here as well, like the leaves have fallen off. So not the greatest. Yeah, I know, it's gorgeous, I know. That's why I'm trying to save it. How much do you let yourself spend on your plant hobby per month? I don't have a budget at all. I've never been one to spend a lot of money on plants. I try and do as many trades as I can. I haven't really done that too much during COVID, but I try and do as much plant trades, equal trades if possible. I'm not stingy or whatever. I'm not in it to make money or anything like that for plants. It's just if I can find someone that wants to trade a plant, something that I'm looking for, then I will give a list of what I have or what I can cut up and hopefully make a deal. But it's been a little bit difficult with COVID and all that. So right now, honestly, aside from that Thai constellation that I bought today, I don't have any wish list plants that I'm like searching for right now. I have a lot of plants. In fact, I probably should get rid of a lot just to, I don't know, it's getting a little cluttered. This thing's getting heavy. So I don't give myself like a set budget or anything like that, and I don't, go out plant shopping every week. If there's something that I'm, maybe looking for, or if someone sends me a message saying, hey, we have some anthuriums in stock, then I might go look at. I try not to spend much money on plants recently, I guess. I'm just trying to focus on the ones that I'm growing right now, and I want to grow large leaf plants and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's the occasional time where I will treat myself to a more expensive plant like the Thai Constellation that I bought today. It wasn't that expensive. It was $100. Okay, now I lost my pruning shears. I have propagated this lipstick plant. Money tree questions. What? Am I missing some? I've also been combining some plants, and one of my favorites right now, and I wish I could bring it downstairs, is my Ficus elastica Melanie. I put a bunch, oh, here's another flower. It's getting some more flowers, 2 areas of flowers. I put a bunch of like just, $5 pot syngoniums in the pot, and the syngoniums I attached to the main trunk of the ficus plant, and it's now growing up like into the leaves. It's so cool. I'll have to show that in a video sometime. What time is it? My lights are going to turn off here in half an hour. Yeah, I'll definitely show that Ficus elastica Melanie with the syngonium in it. It's pretty cool. It doesn't have like a bare area like within the soil anymore. It's nicely filled in with syngonium, and it's growing up into the tree canopy like it would in its natural habitat. So that's pretty cool. Squirrel. What? Okay, oh, I missed a question. Oh yeah, the how much per month. What is your guys' wish list plants? I know a lot of people are probably like on no plant buys and stuff like that. I've heard from a few like plant shops and stuff that they're not as busy as they were like even 2 years ago, kind of when the plant craze. But do you guys have any wish list plants that you're actively searching for? It doesn't have to be like a list. Just give me your #1 wish list plant. Mine was the Thai Constellation, and I'll probably show it again here before I end the chat here. You recently bought a Melanie. Isn't it awesome? The nice thing about the Melanie is, I think when you have it in high light, mine's kind of in medium lights, probably not the best location, but it's always putting out new leaves. But I love when the new leaves come in. They have almost like a copper, like a bronze tone to them. They're pretty cool. And the nice thing about that ficus plant in particular is it has smaller leaves compared to any other ficus plant. Money tree problem above. Ooh, Alcyn philodendron spiritus. I've never even heard of that one. I'm not big on like knowing what like trending plants or anything like that. If I see something on like Instagram or like on a listing from some of my local plant shops, there's basically 2 that I go to. Then I'll just find or I'll learn from plants that way. Red Lady says she's a Hoya head here, so you've fallen in the Hoya hole. What's your favorite Hoya? And do you propagate them? Do you make more? I will definitely check out that philodendron. Yeah, I forgot that. Oh man, I can't forget the name of that heartleaf Hoya. Okay, so now that's kind of the interesting about these lipstick plants is that they are very similar to a Hoya, and they propagate very similar to a Hoya as well. I propagate most of mine in perlite, but I'm going to do water with these guys, and I have this container here with just filtered water. Ring of Fire, that's Patty's and the Ficus shiveriana. Here's my Ring of Fire. It's just a smaller one. This I think was like 20 bucks at one of my local plant shops. And then I'll show you my little Ficus just a little one, just a little guy, but here's the ficus Cheveriana. I think it's also called the Moonlight. It's a small one, but it's awesome. I've been looking for this one for probably a couple of years. Hoya Crimson Queen. That's a really nice one to start with. It's super fast growing. Okay, so I'm just going to cut some of these stems like this. And then I'm going to cut I'm just going to make a little pile of the lower leaves. This one's all gibbled here. I'm just going to cut that one off. And I'm just going to stick this in water. Actually, I'm going to cut the other leaf off. Just stick it in water. I'm going to take some cuttings from some nicer stems. See, some of the leaves, like, I don't know what the issue is, but they curl. So I don't know if it's a humidity issue or if it's a pest issue. Hopefully it's not a pest issue. That would not be good. But I'm going to cut. I don't want to cut the one with the flower off because I want that thing to bloom. Oh, there's another. There's like 3 areas where it's going to flower. Do grow lights cost significantly more for the electricity bill? All of these grow lights, they are LED grow lights, and they are energy efficient, so low power consuming, I guess. Honestly, I don't notice any difference than when I had or when I didn't have them. I don't really notice any difference. Our power bills, just like probably everywhere else in the world, have gone up over the last couple of years kind of thing. But it's not anything noticeable, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If you had some of the other types of lights, like the actual grow bulbs, the ones that get hot, I think it's like the incandescent. I'm not even too sure, to be honest, but I know those use a lot of power consumption, but all these LED ones, they're pretty good. And like I said, I don't notice anything on my power bills, to be honest. Okay, so Marissa just gave $9 a year. How do you know that? Do you keep track, or do you have like a power tester, or do you just do the conversion from what you pay per month kind of thing? I don't honestly know how I can figure out what my power consumption is or the cost for the lights, but how did you figure that out? These grow lights, they're fantastic. I'm quite blown away by them. And I would never buy like these cheap ones. This one right here, these gooseneck. I just have them just to provide like a little bit more light to my J plant and stuff like that. But the Soltech and the Mother grow lights, they are fantastic. Okay, I'm just trying to see if there's some areas where they don't have flowers. I'm gonna take some cuttings here. Alocasia frydek is awesome. I love it. It is probably one of my favorite alocasias. The newest leaf is pretty small compared to this one, which is, it's getting a little bit yellow. So I don't know if I'm not watering this one enough, if I'm letting it get too dry and it's starting to go into dormancy, but I gave it some water and I gave it some fertilizer tonight, hoping that it'll perk back up again. You know what, now that Jim mentioned it, Tina, the variegated frydek is another plant that is on my wish list. So I'm with you on that one. I would love to have a variegated frydek. What is this? Oh, where did that come from? I pulled out my golden pothos cutting. It was tangled up in the vines here. This thing's just a mess. Like, I want to love it, and I'm holding on to it because the leaves are just, they're gorgeous. Like, how can you not like this leaf? And the back side's like a purple on the back. It's so cool. But right now it's just, it's a disaster. Do I label my propagations and the dates? No, I don't. I'm not that organized. Even when I make videos on YouTube, like I always have the intentions of making like all these like care and propagation videos and then doing like a 3-month update and then a 6-month update. But I'm honestly, I'm not that organized enough to do those types of videos. I'll try and do it with these like 2 pothos experiments that I'm going to be doing, but there's some other channels that do it much better than me. But yeah, I'm just not organized enough to keep the files on the computer. It sounds simple, but I just can't do it. Any suggestions for beginner anthurium? Are you looking for like beginner care tips or a beginner plant? Anthuriums are awesome, and I'll give you a couple tricks here in a second, but for like a plant to start off with, I would get this. This is the Anthurium crystallinum. I think you can probably find them for pretty cheap now at most places. This has 2 larger leaves. I think you can probably find them for like $20–$30 now for, you know, a pretty decent plant. So they've definitely come down in price, but this is one that I would recommend, the crystallinum, because it's a gorgeous leaf. It's got a little bit of damage here, but let's see, it looks like it's starting to get another new leaf. One trick that I've learned to help with better leaves is I do have all of my anthuriums in a nice chunky aroid mix, but I top dress with sphagnum moss just on top so that it holds in the moisture so it doesn't dry out as fast. I don't have to water it as frequently. And the nice thing is when the sphagnum moss gets dry and crispy, then I know it's probably going to need some water. So if it's like really crispy on top, most likely the soil is going to be dry as well. So this is a nice one to start off with. Reminding me? Probably won't. It probably won't help. Can't even see my propagation container. I struggled really bad with, just like most people, when you start off with anthuriums. That's kind of the thing I like about plants, is the challenge. Oh, I was going to talk about that coffee experiment with the pothos plant. So that kind of led me to segue back to the coffee experiment. I had a lemon tree, a small little indoor lemon tree that it would drop leaves all the time, and I thought it was not getting enough light. So I gave it a higher light and it still dropped leaves. It would get yellow leaves, so I thought it was the fertilizer. So, because I know they're heavy feeders. I'm probably going to end this here in about 20 minutes because all these lights are going to turn off here. All my grow lights turn off at 10 o'clock. So anyways, I tried citrus-specific fertilizers, and it would get a little burst of new growth and it would get new leaves and then it would drop it. But it never produced any lemons, which it took me quite a while to figure it out. Citrus plants, they require a more acidic soil. And when I did some reading on how to get your soil acidic, or to get it a little bit more acidic than what it was, is you can actually use cold coffee. So we make coffee every morning, and we have probably, you know, like a third of the pot left each day. So what I started doing with that lemon tree is I would put half cold coffee, half water in it, and I started watering maybe every second or third watering, and I kid you not, it exploded with new growth. and I ended up getting 3 lemons on it. It is one of my, I don't want you guys going back to like my old videos, but that is probably one of my, I don't know, earlier videos, one of my first videos that I did with that lemon tree experiment. I sliced it up, I ate the lemon. It was the juiciest lemon I've ever had, and it was because of the soil pH. So with cold coffee, and I'll explain it in that experiment video if I decide to do it, when I propagate pothos in cold coffee and water mixture, and then I'll have one just in straight water. So that cold coffee mixture I read is higher in nitrogen, and nitrogen is needed for or helps with root development in plants. So it should work. I'm expecting there to be faster and bigger roots in a cold coffee. So I would just Google, if you guys are interested in, let's see, you should open a PO box. I've been thinking about that for a long time. But anyways, back to this cold coffee stuff. So I'm going to try and do that with some propagations, and I want to do it with some actual plants. Many tropical plants out there like a slightly acidic soil. So maybe if like watering, I'm going to try watering one, maybe I'll set up some like pothos cuttings, one with just regular soil, which I'll water with fertilizer and water, and the other one I'll do maybe like a fertilizer water mixture, but I'll also supplement it with some cold coffee and see which one grows faster. Maybe it grows larger leaves, I'm not too sure, but that's one experiment I'm actually kind of interested in. Yeah, so yeah, just watering with that cold coffee, it gave me lemons. I don't want to say fast because it takes time, but I would get flowers, but the flowers would die off. As soon as I started watering with that cold coffee, then it started producing actual fruit, which was crazy. I got 3 lemons indoors. Tech Plant, I've been waiting for you in the chat all night, and I probably got like 15 minutes left. I got to shut her down here at 10 o'clock just because all my grow lights are going to shut off, and then we're going to be in the dark here. So good to see you. Got a few Tech Plant fans in here. Good to see. So I'm just chopping up this black pagoda, and I'm just rambling like you did the other day. Just nonsense. Just keep talking. But I don't remember what I was talking about anymore. My lemon tree. I know you've done some lemon experiments, or maybe you grew lemons. Coffee experiment. Yeah. I'm excited about that one, just to see if it actually helps with plant and root growth. So that's one I've often thought about, but honestly, I forgot about it. I've started using a little notebook to write down all my ideas, because I will come up with an idea, and then like a week later, I'm like, oh man, I can't remember what that idea was. But now I got a notebook. So an old school notebook from the dollar store. I'm getting older and more forgetful. This stem, not the greatest, so I'm going to chuck that away. Matt, I got to show you something. Since you're joining late, you're gonna like this, as we talked about this on Instagram a couple days ago. Told you guys I would show it again. I got the Thai constellation today. Look at this beauty. Super excited about this plant. Big lots in Canada. No. I don't know much about big lots other than the name, but I feel like it's probably pretty comparable to Canadian Tire. Canadian Tire is, it's like your store you can get anything at. You can get car parts, you can get tires, you can get a sled, you can get a football, quite literally anything. Plants. I get lots of my outdoor stuff from Canadian Tire. It's a pretty cool store. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to take off of this one here. And then I'm just going to, for the last probably like 15 minutes here, I'm just going to maybe show you guys some like updates on some plants. If you guys want to see any, if there's anything that you want to see, just let me know. Mayor Lemon, that's the one that I had. And yeah, it was struggling all the time. it was super frustrating until I started watering with cold coffee. Has it ever gotten lemons for you? We love you and your channel. Aw, thanks. I appreciate it. Actually, like, honestly, this channel blows me away. How awesome you guys are. How supportive, like all the comments. Everyone's been super nice. Probably like 99% of the comments on my channel are amazing. They're productive. It's nice to see. The Thai, how much was that? I made mention earlier, I don't like to spend a lot on houseplants, and like I've never ever spent like a couple $100 or anything like that. So this one was, I paid $140 for it today. There isn't any in my area, like no plant shops. I've never seen them like in stores. There's a lady that I sometimes buy off of Facebook, and she had some listed there, so I just messaged her today, and I said I'll take one, I'll do it. So a little bit of just a gift, or I don't know, a little gift to myself, a little pre-Christmas gift. Oh, good night, Kim. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Yeah, and again, say hi to Jeff. I hope he gets well soon. I love reading the comments. Thanks you guys. Appreciate it. So I think I'm done with this lipstick plant here. I'm gonna start cleaning up. So I just saw a comment of someone saying they want to see the reflector. Awesome plant. I love it. I wish you guys could see everything off camera here. It's probably going to take me like 45 minutes after I'm done here just to clean up my mess. Like, yeah. And my kids got to go to bed soon too. I have 2 kids. One's, well, they're both upstairs right now, but one's upstairs watching a movie, and the other one is sick in bed. She's been sick for a few days now with fever and cough and all that kind of stuff. And I don't want to say the funny thing, but actually it's not funny at all. She was sick like 2 weeks ago as well, so I feel so bad for her. She's had it rough. Okay, so I'm gonna just get rid of all this garbage here, and then I'll show you the reflector. Let me know if here's the root patty. If there's any other plants that you guys want to see before donations. If you turn off donations, I don't know how to do that. Son is 12 and sick with a bad cold for 2 weeks. Yeah, there is so many sick kids right now. It's crazy. I think my son said one day there was like 12 kids missing from his class or something like that, all with like fevers and coughs. Pickles. So I absolutely love my little mug, and there's Pickles down there. Thanks to everyone that's bought it. I hope you guys like it. Okay, I'm going to show you the reflector here. The newest leaves are getting massive. And I'm kind of worried because the stem is getting quite thick as well. Like, look at this. Where's that big leaf? This one. Huge. I keep squinting. Merch looks so good. Thank you. I didn't want like a big, like Everything Plants logo on it. I just wanted something that would, like every plant person would be able to enjoy. Like, obviously, it's kind of a little makeup of my plant workshop downstairs here, but yeah, I just didn't want anything like with Everything Plants. It wasn't my intention. I just want someone or whoever to buy it to enjoy like just a nice plant shirt. You got your sweatshirt. Sweet. Okay, so here's the reflector. I spray this one off frequently because I don't want it getting spider mites. Oh, here's the newest leaf. I was just waiting for this one to unfurl. Oh, it's doing so good. But yeah, the stem, a little bit thin at the bottom. I do have it slightly propped up with a wood stake right now, but it is thickening up. I might have to propagate this at some point, but I don't want it to die. This is such a cool plant. It's very susceptible to spider mites for sure. So don't forget to like on your way out. Thanks everyone, I appreciate it. So many people still holding on to 76 viewers. So speaking of like that cough and cold meds, I went to Walmart. I never go to Walmart. I hate Walmart. I hate going there. I go there like twice a year for some things. But what did I go for the other night? Oh, just for some like Gatorade and some Epsom salts for baths and stuff like that. But I walked past like the pharmacy aisle, and the one aisle with all like the children's Tylenol, Advil, it was like bare. There was nothing on the shelf. It was crazy. I heard, or I hear, that there really isn't like a shortage issue in the States. It's just a Canada thing. And I hope like people aren't like hoarding Tylenol, because other people obviously need it. So if you have sick kids, some lights are turning off already. If you have sick kids, then yeah, I feel for you right now, because it's not a fun time. Is there anything you guys want to see? Anything for plants? I don't even know what to show you guys. Here's a really cool anthurium. This is the Hookerii variegated. It's getting a new leaf. This one's still in moss. Do I prefer planks or moss poles? I primarily use planks. I've only recently tried a moss pole on a couple plants down here. I get why people like moss poles. They're really easy, but they can be expensive, and they're quite messy to set up. Now, in watching other videos, what I'm trying to do with my planks, pardon me, keep burping tonight. What I'm trying to do with my planks is grow larger leaves. Oh, I gotta show you, I keep getting distracted here. I'm gonna show you my marble queen pothos. It got another new leaf, but that's the goal for my plants on planks, is to get larger leaves. The nice thing about moss poles is you can just extend. Oh, see, all my lights are turning off. You can extend, I'm gonna go in the dark here. You can extend the moss poles, and then when it comes to propagating them, you can just chop that propagation pole and then just literally stick it back in the pot here. Oh, my time's limited. I think I'm just gonna show this last marble queen pothos on a plank. This one, I only used a little support at the bottom. Otherwise, it's trained itself by latching onto the plank with its roots. Here's the newest leaf. Like, look how large it is. And it's just got a little bit of variegation just at the top. And here's the one that obviously came before it. So you can see, here's the original leaves, and here are the newest ones. This is by far my fastest upsizing plant on a plank, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Do you have a Monstera Sultapagana? I do. I do have one. I guess I should move it out of the way. I do have one on a plank here as well. It's not growing as fast as I thought it was. And I do have a nice small Sultapagana upstairs as well. The light pumpkins. You're gonna lose me here in like a couple minutes. They're all on timers. I got like 5 minutes before we're in the dark, so. Do I keep the plank damp at all times? No, only like, just because these are in smaller pots, I have to kind of water them quite frequently lately. Uh-oh, I think I just lost the feed too. Everything's shutting down. What is happening? My computer just shut off. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Maybe my internet's not very good right now. I can't remember what I was talking about. Do I keep them damp? No, I'll probably spray them down in my little plant shower thing. I lost my computer. I think my computer is actually plugged into the timer, so that's why it shut off. I put these in my little plant shower thing that I fabricated last week, and I'll spray off the leaves, I'll spray the plank, and then I'll just let all that water run down into the soil and let it drain out the pot, and then I'll put it back on its plank area. I'll show you my Cebu Blue here quick. This one is upsizing as well. So here is a Cebu Blue. This one's pretty fast growing. I was hoping to see a little bit of a larger leaf on it. So here's the original ones. And you can see it's definitely sized up a bit. Very fast growing. Sorry guys, I can't see the chat anymore unless I get really close to the screen. So I don't know what else to show you. Yeah, I think that's probably gonna, oh, the last thing I'm gonna show is my Homelamina Selby that I propagated the other day. I put it in a self-watering pot. It's doing wonderful. The new leaf is unfurling here, and my propagation is right down here as well. This one I might have to water. It did get a little bit of a crispy leaf here, but otherwise everything is looking good. So yeah, I think that's probably gonna end the, or should end the live stream with that. I appreciate you guys hanging out for the last couple hours with me. Yeah, and I'll definitely be doing another live stream again. So thanks everyone, have a good night and get some sleep, go to bed.